A man who's donated his time, talents, and a considerable amount of money to Children's Home Society is about to call it a career. In this morning's Eye on Kelloland, how Tom Roberts got his Christmas book project off the ground and what the dollars raised have meant to CHS. Actor, author, teacher. Tom Roberts grew up in the Aberdeen area, attending Roncalli High School, where he discovered his passion for the arts.
So much so that I continued the pursuit of that through college and then into community theater as time went on, and eventually moving into professional theater, where I found myself writing my own scripts, doing a lot of research, and in that process, discovering that I enjoyed writing.
After years of putting pen to paper, Roberts wrote what would become his first book while stuck in a blizzard at a truck stop in Summit, South Dakota.
I spent the evening in my vehicle out in the parking lot, and while I was sitting there, my wife Tammy calls me up on my cell phone and says, well, if you're just sitting there doing nothing, why don't you consider writing a little story that we could use maybe for the children's Christmas program at church.
He told Tammy he'd give it a try.
I turned on some Christmas music, took out a pad of paper and a pen, and started playing around with some ideas, and before I knew it, it was the next morning, and I had penned a little story called "'Twas the Night Before Christ."
The story was such a hit at church, Tom and Tammy turned it into a book, but wanted it to be a family mission project to benefit a local charity.
Children's Home Society came to mind right away because we had volunteered here, we knew the mission, we knew the people here, and we knew the important work that was happening.
CHS approved of the project, and "'Twas the Night Before Christ" became a reality.
We raised enough money to print 3,000 copies, and we were so green at this. We really thought, what are we going to do with all these books when we're done? They're going to be in our garage when we're done. And we sold 3,000 copies in 3 weeks and raised $52,000.
We launched that very first story that set us off on a journey that has been a remarkable one, to say the least.
Tom has now written a total of 8 Christmas stories.
People kept asking for more books, and Tom kept writing them.
The books have raised more than $1.6 million for the children and families served by Children's Home Society, where Tom has worked for the past 15 years.
There won't be another Tom at Children's Home Society. You know, he brought so many amazing gifts and talents here.
Rick Weber is Director of Development at CHS, working alongside Roberts since the start of the book project.
Here we sit, 20-some years later, 8 books in total, 65,000 books sold, $1.6 million raised, and all the awareness we've received through this project. It's just tremendous. It's just so unique.
Weber says nonprofits wouldn't survive without charitable support, and that 22% of this year's budget is donations.
You just can't overstate what he's done through the fundraising and the friend raising that's happened through this book project. Many people they might have bought a book for $20, 20 years ago, and they've been donors ever since.
But all good things must come to an end.
I am of now the age of retirement, and over this past year I've had a few health issues that have made it a little bit more front of mind, so to speak, and so the time has come to move in that direction.
The 66-year-old Roberts plans to retire at the end of May, ending the book project. It's the people he'll miss the most.
The wonderful relationships I've had here at Children's Home Society, the important work that we do, that is so gratifying, knowing that what we're doing is really making a big difference.
He will host one last book signing, but may not have an answer to every question.
I'm asked all the time which one is my favorite, and it's like children, each of them are your favorite in their own way.
I'm already being a little tearful. I love listening to him tell the stories, and I'm so proud of him when he does that. And it's going to be a little bittersweet, but yeah, we'll miss that.
Tammy works for Children's Home Foundation and plans to retire shortly after Tom, and is proud of what they've accomplished on behalf of kids.
I think all of us want to be able to feel like at the end of our journey or work journey or whatever journey that we really made a difference. And Tom and I really think that. We really felt like we made a difference in this world.
Outside, it was getting dark. The sky was thick with snow.
Robert's final book signing is this Saturday from noon until 2 p.m. at Crossroads Book and Music in Sioux Falls. You can purchase the books at Crossroads through the end of May while supplies last. They're also available online. We provided a link with this story on KELOLAND.com.